Who do you hope will be the president of the USA in 2024? Someone younger than 70 would be nice. I would even say maybe someone not at retirement age. Someone who will be alive when their long-term decisions start impacting the world. You don't get to order for the table right before you leave the restaurant. Any competent human being under the age of 60. Not Republican nor Democrat. Not anyone who has been photographed with Epstein maybe? Well, that really narrows it down. A golden retriever. Former governor of California Mr. Peanut Butter would be a great candidate tbh. Someone who knows what it's like to be in the middle class. Today's middle class. Not the middle class of yore that could somehow buy homes and have families on a single income. As long as we're requiring our candidates to be living fossils. I'm voting for Betty White. She'll whip the country into shape. She used to be Betty Gray. Until she fought the Balrog. I am Swedish. So Carl the 16th Gustaf. The King of Sweden. He likes to wear cool hats. A politician between the age of 35 and 65. I don't care about race or sex, just do the job properly. Yeah, when people say they just want someone they can have a beer with. None of those elitist intellectuals. I'm like, no. Please. An intellectual. I want someone who has knowledge and experience in the law. Foreign affairs. Economics. They're making really important global decisions. I want the smartest person for the job, not just someone who can see Russia from their house. There's a dog in some small city in America that has been the acting mayor for like 5 or 6 years now. It'd vote for a good boy. You're talking about Idlewild. Car. Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho. He'd have my vote. He recognized the problem. Sought out the smartest people to deal with it. Then followed the advice that was given to him. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton running against Jolene in the 2024 election. The dude who runs the self-service checkout section at my local grocery store is nice and seems like a solid person. Fuck it. I'm in for this guy too. Pedro. Boomer here. Definitely not another boomer. 40-year-old moderate that's not a rich asshole would be great. I mean, technically Biden is not a boomer. Rep. Katie Porter or someone in that vein. She's fucking amazing. This was the first real politician I've seen in the thread, lol. And sort by controversial. LOL. I'm still scrolling, sorted by best to see how far down I have to go before an actual candidate is suggested. Literally anyone with good morals who knows what they're doing. As long as those parameters are filled. That's good by me. Edit. Please stop replying. Good morals are hard to define and will vary greatly depending on who you ask. Someone closer to 50 rather than closer to 100. Except then we would just get more 70-year-olds. Expressionless face. A mannequin would be the safest option. I've got a broken vacuum cleaner. Maybe we can put it in charge. Someone I have never heard of. No Jack Sparrow 2024 then. My mom. Muscle man. Doesn't really matter who is in the office unless we get rid of lobbying and career politicians. It does matter. But you're right that this is more important. And less likely to change. It depends. Will we have a functional Congress? Is it functional now? These answers are terrifying me. It took 24 answers down to find a specific person that wasn't a joke or a vague idea. Yep, we're in trouble. Giant meteor. Rick Astley. He'd never give us up. Jimmy Carter. That split between terms would never be broken. Please dear God, not another celebrity. JFK. If he'd just hurry up and come back already. If not, then I'd settle for his ghost. Paul Rudd. You hear that? Canada? We see you're Justin Trudeau. And we raise you one Paul Rudd. Not a celebrity rich person. Let's start there. Leslie Knope. Would Leslie run against Joe Biden? No. She is in love with the man. Weird Al. Someone mentally healthy who has had to 1. Budget their money and 2. Work an entry-level job. Realistically, I'd like Tammy Duckworth. I don't agree with all of her positions. But she seems like an intelligent, Hard-working person. Plus she's a disabled combat veteran. So she understands the magnitude of sending troops to go fight for political BS. Edit. Here's an excerpt from her book where she describes when her helicopter was shot down by an RPG, her injuries, and her recovery. https://www.chicagomag.com Chicago Magazine April 2021 The day Tammy Duckworth's Black Hawk went down. The election is in 2024. But whoever is elected will take office in 2025. Unless Joe Biden just dies or becomes incapacitated. He'll be president throughout the entire year of 2024. This is the first thing that I was thinking of when I saw this question, lol. Mr. Bean. We're making it to 2024. 50/50. How annoying that no one seems to give an actual answer. Everyone trying to be funny. SMH. I think most of us are so depressed by the prospect of yet another disappointing election chosen from a crop of useless, adversarial politicians that sincerely saying someone under the age of 70 is the best and most sincere answer we have. Someone who isn't a dust-crusted fossil. Why not Zoidberg? Someone under 60. Someone other than Kanye. Can we just get some fucking health care? Please? I'm 18 and buying my first health insurance plan. I knew it was a messed up system, but actually seeing the numbers is mind-blowing. Pay a monthly fee for the privilege of paying 30% of most of your bills. But only after you pay a few thousand first. Oh, and your teeth are a luxury. LOL, I'm moving ASAP. I wish you would reform your political system. And adopt a system that allows for more parties forming blocs. This would give the extremists on both sides of the spectrum less power. And allow voters to differentiate between veils and policies more instead of choosing one of two parties as one big package you don't get to decide the contents of. Today's system is completely outdated and can even be called a true democracy. You have no power and your two parties are extremely similar at the end of the day. I hope your system would give less personal power to the president and more to the Senate. We may be closer to that than you realize. The two parties are really what other countries would call coalitions. Within each are multiple voting blocs that form and change alliances. The leadership of those blocs is informal. But it's still there. The president also has very little power compared to Congress and compared to what most people seem to think. He has the most power over the military and foreign diplomacy. But for domestic policy, he's extremely limited. If you go based on comments on Reddit, you'd think he was a temporary all-powerful dictator who can enact any change he wants. The US Constitution doesn't work that way. Vermin Supreme. Someone who is younger than 50 so they have a vested interest in the long term of the country. The only people I'd want to be president are people who have no interest being president. Douglas Adams put it best. To summarize, it is a well-known fact that those people who must want to rule people are, ipso facto, those least suited to do it. To summarize the summary, anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should on no account be allowed to do the job. Can it be dead ones? Cause I wouldn't mind giving Mr. Rogers a chance. Third-party candidate. The tribalism of the two-party system in America is toxic and is ruining the country. Someone that isn't beyond retirement age. Someone the median age of the country around 38-40 who isn't a polarized moron. 0 search results for this. Please check your spelling and try again. Top 25 comments and not one single name. We're screwed. I just want my investments to 4x. I'll build a house in the middle of nowhere. Get Starlink internet. Retire. And let it all play out while I disconnect. Conroy. Conroy was interested in politics at a very young age. Not an 80-year-old. Anyone who wants to be president should never, ever be president. The good old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy approach. Wishfully. Someone under 65 with a good head on their shoulders. In reality, if Donnie's still alive, nearly anyone else. Any functional adult. At this point I feel like a cat would be the best option. Not Biden or Trump. Someone under 60 who isn't a billionaire. No more out-of-touch boomers running the country. Someone who won't be old enough to retire from a normal job. My 8-year-old wants Larry David to be president. Mr. T.